Hello and welcome to another episode of Nathanchu's Disney Reviews. I am your host, Nathanchu, and I'm back in front of the camera for the intros and extras for now, because, either you see the picture or you actually get to see me. Now today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite rides at Disneyland, the Jungle Cruise. I need to go on this ride every time I go because there's just something about it, I love it. Wearing my Indiana Jones style hat, which is kind of what they wear there now, and closest thing I got to a khaki color shirt. Granted, there's some pirates on it. It is a Disney shirt as well, so add to it. Now, the Jungle Cruise. The reason why I chose the Jungle Cruise, besides it being my favorite ride, is it's also one of the original rides that were there when the park grand opened. And when this episode airs, it will be July 17th. What's special about July 17th? Well, there's two things special. One, it will be Disneyland's actual 60th anniversary. I would love to be there for it, but due to living in Arizona, it's kind of it's not that hard to get there, but it all matter of money. So I hope to make it there during the 60th celebration. We'll take lots of video when I'm there, because I don't want to miss that. I do have video from the 50th celebration when I was there for the parade. That was pretty cool. But another thing that's special about the 17th is it's also the 1-year anniversary of the show. Now, the show, I've been trying to do it every 2 weeks where I put up an episode. Sometimes I've gone longer than that. Sometimes I've gone shorter than that. Sometimes I put it like the day after I put a secondary episode, just because I had something to discuss. And I tried doing news on it. I think I might start trying to gather up news during the week and do a secondary show with the news. Maybe like a 10-minute show at most with what's happening in the worlds of Disney. No guarantee. I just gotta see how much time it takes to gather all this news. But without further ado, here we go into the jungle for 7 days and 10 glorious nights. Enjoy the review. The Jungle Cruise. What Disney park is complete without a trip around the jungle for 7 days and 10 glorious nights? Now, the Jungle Cruise has to be my key essential ride that I have to ride whenever I go to a Disney park. Say Disney park, mainly meaning Disneyland, because that's where I've ever been. But if I ever went to one of the other ones, I would have to go there. Now, out of the 5 Disney theme parks, Disneyland Paris is the only one that does not have a Jungle Cruise style ride there. Which makes me sad because, like I just said, Jungle Cruise is my favorite ride. It's the cheesy humor that I like, and it's just the animatronics. It's the whole package deal that makes it great. It's wrapped up in a nice, like a boa constrictor around its victim. I'm going to be trying to use the actual Jungle Cruise humor a little bit through this review, just because I love it so much. And it's in the spirit of the jungle. I do listen to the Jungle Cruise, that's CREWS podcast, which is Tales from the Jungle Cruise. And it's from old skippers that used to do on the jungle, listening to their old tales and all that stuff. I love that podcast. So they tend to use the jungle humor, so I'll use it on my review of this. Now, the Jungle Cruise is a boat ride through the jungle. You end up going through the African belt, you're going through India, you're going through all these different jungles. Now, do a quick go through the ride. This is for the Disneyland one. I'm assuming that this is because that's the only one I've ridden. I have watched other ones which look cool, Eventually, I will get to ride more than one. I plan on going to Walt Disney World at some point, and hopefully like Tokyo Disney too, but we'll see. So it opened opening day of Disneyland. The ride was quite different than it was now. It wasn't. It was meant to be more like the true life adventures. There's like surprises. This is all from videos I've seen. The jungle has pretty much stayed the same since I started riding it. I'll go into what they've added since I started riding it later. But they try to be more serious. There's a few jokes thrown in, but eventually it got shifted to where it was mainly jungle puns. But you go through the queue area. You just go to the bottom part or the top part. There's little artifacts around. There's a radio playing with jungle jokes. Then you get loaded onto the dock, and then you leave. You go through the rainforest where it's actually spraying some mist on you. And then you go into the Cambodian shrine, built by Cambodian Shriners. There's some cobras there. There's a tiger that's about 15 feet away. Luckily, they jump 25 feet, so you never get attacked. There's some crocodiles. Then you go into the Indian elephant bathing pool where the elephants all have their trunks on. You can take as many pictures as you like. And there's even one in the shower, Bertha. She'd been there forever. That's why she's got all those wrinkles. Then you keep on going down. You meet up with Little Squirt. Tries to get you, but he ends up coming up dry. Then you move on to the Explorers Camp, where the monkeys and gorillas, well, specifically baboons, have all trashed the camp. They started a musical number, and they ended up turning over the Jeep and left its headlights on. It's just a mess there. Then you go down to the curve. You go to Swicer Falls, named after the great Dr. Falls. He'll go over that later. Then you go down the Nile, which goes on for miles and miles and miles. If you don't believe me, you're in denial. You see the African bull elephant there on the Nile. Then you go down a little bit more and you see this African scene where it looks like they're getting ready for the presentation of Simba, when in actuality all they're doing is all watching a sleeping zebra. That was really dead tired. Then on the other side of the rocks you see the Lost Safari team, who seem to have pissed off a rhino, and well, that guy in the bottom is probably going to get it in the end. But the rhino always gets its point across. Then you move into the hippo pool, where the hippos are sitting there relaxing and only have to worry if they're wiggling their ears and blowing bubbles, which they seem to be really angry most of the time. Go through there. Then you get into the headhunter territory, where you see an African tribe doing a nice war dance. I think it's a war dance. And then you get attacked by natives. And the skipper saves you. Just gotta make sure if you get any spears, you throw them back. There's no souvenirs allowed, apparently. Tried to keep one once. They didn't like it. Then we get to the greatest part of the ride, the fabulous, spectacular backside of water, which I always applaud at because it is so magnificent. Tried to see it once at home and just banged my head against the sink. Then you go around the corner and it's all peaceful, and all of a sudden man-eating piranha come jumping out at you, and I have to hide behind my fiance so I don't get eaten, since I am a man. Then you go down, you see the snake on the side, just sitting there, hugging the tree. And then you meet up with Trader Sam, who's always got a great deal. 2 heads for one of yours. You always come out ahead. Then you get back to the dock, and you've gone and ridden the famous Jungle Cruise. Now, obviously, I have ridden the ride a lot in order to say a lot of those jokes. That's because I love the ride. If I lived in Southern California, I would have tried to apply and become a jungle skipper, and I think I would have had a great time with it. Now, the movie is a mixture based off the true life adventures uh, and the movie The African Queen. That's what mainly the design of the ride vehicles are for. The true life adventures are a series of documentaries that Walt Disney did on, well, not Walt Disney personally, but the company did about African areas. Well, not the African lion is specifically the thing that helped inspire it, but all true life adventures really is what helped inspire it, with Walt Disney doing the documentaries and having people go out and film stuff. Now, weird thing is that the Jungle Cruise is only about 5 feet deep for most parts, and I think it's a little. It should be 8 feet deep, I think, before for the hippo pool. So it's really not that deep, but you feel like it could be a lot deeper. This ride has gone through some quite changes, placement of animals and everything. The baboons, when I started now by the Lost Safari Camp, where the gorillas are at, used to be over by where the African lions are watching as well. And so they got moved. There used to be a snake, not a snake, an alligator, that there's this one gorilla hanging out and trying to get a banana. He was trying to get it from the alligator. Now they switched that up. The piranhas were not there when I first started riding it. I noticed those back, I want to say 2006. I could be wrong when they added it. When Indiana Jones came, I don't remember what happened before Indiana Jones, but I do know, because it was so long ago, that's why I don't remember. But I do know it was longer. I don't remember what they cut out. They cut out about a minute of the Jungle Cruise. They also changed the queue where it's 2 stories. I remember it being 1 story before, and then building it up. And I mean, the reason why I love the Jungle Cruise is because it's the humor that they have in there. And it all depends on the skipper's delivery. If you do not have a good skipper, you're probably not going to have that great of a trip. Most of them, I like it when you hear, quote, a new joke added in. It just adds some, add some like real funniness, because you're like, oh, I've never heard that before. But it used to be one of the rides. Is like one of the first 3 rides. It was Jungle Cruise, Pirates, and Haunted Mansion. That order we always went in, and then from there, whatever he did is whatever we did. Now, I'm not saying that you should ride it for the joke. You should ride it because it's one of the class of 55, as they call it, one of the original rides. And it's a nice, relaxing ride, because you're just sitting there looking at all the audio animatronics. Like those ducks are so life-looking, and all the real animals around there just don't bother them. It's amazing. And it's just one of those rides that it's like you just have to ride in there, because it is nice and relaxing. You're just sitting there. I mean, you hear the sound of the boat, just looking at the animals, even if you're not paying attention to the skipper, which you completely should be, because it's really a main part of the ride. You don't have to if you've been there before. You can just relax, look at the animals. It is one of those rides that you don't have to really think about. You just kind of zone and kind of just listen. It doesn't throw you around. It doesn't spin you. It doesn't do anything like that. It's just a nice, relaxing ride. Like, like the Mark Twain, but funny. Or at least I find it funny. A lot of people, most of the time, people don't really laugh. But according to Wikipedia, these are all the major changes that have happened since then, since it opened up. In 1957, additional rainforests, a pair of menacing guerrillas, and native war party and dancing natives, and Trader Sam beginning to offer his 2-for-1 deal. In 1961, the original boathouse was removed, and open waterway between the Jungle Cruise and Rivers of America, which I did not know existed, was created was filled in to create Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, now Tarzan's Treehouse. In 1962, they added the Indian Elephant Pool and the Temple, which is the one built by the Cambodian Shriners. In 1963, the African elephants were repositioned on the Nile section. There's also a removal of 2 original lions and a pair of charging rhinos. I'd like to see that. I wonder if there's any videos from back before. It'd be hard to. The African veldt and trap safari scenes were added in 1964, so where the sleeping zebra is. In 1967, enhancements and several scenes like crocodiles snapping at the hornbill, Bengal tiger, and cobras added to the Cambodian ruins. The safari camp overrun by gorillas, gorilla battling a crocodile, baboons on termite mounds, and lions feasting on a zebra were moved to the rock outcropping den, and a python threatening a water buffalo calf, replacing gorillas threatening from the riverbanks. So there was a lot of changes done in 1967. Then in 1993, the boats were repainted and weathered in anticipation of Indiana Jones. They were a new 2-story boathouse and it was rethemed to the 1940s era to go with Indiana Jones. In 1997, the original boats were replaced. 2005, various replacements and reconstruction happened. Complete replacement of Schweitzer Falls, which it doesn't really flow as much as it used to. And the addition of the piranhas in 2005. Update to the safari Jeep camp scene, which is the exploding drums. There's an explosion before you get to it. And in 2010, after 55 years of growth and care, Disneyland's man-made jungle is declared a real and complete with its own ecosystem, which I did not know that. That is pretty cool. They also have in 2013, they started doing a Christmas overlay for it, which I didn't go see it in person. It looked all right via the video, but I heard that 2014's was better. I didn't watch any video on that one. I'll have to watch a video on that one. And apparently it's going to go down. Apparently it did go down for some changes in April. I don't remember hearing about that. But the Jungle Cruise ride, if you want a nice relaxing ride, I've gone on 16 minutes about this ride. That's how much I love this ride. So I will stop talking about the ride. Go ride it yourself. Video does not do it justice because there's everything around you to look at. There's always something to look at no matter what angle you go on it, whether it's just the plants that have naturally grown over all these years, or it's the audio animatronic, or it's the skipper in front of you, or the guest next to you that doesn't know what they're looking at. Go ride it for yourself. Normally, if you go in the morning, it's a very quick to get on. If you go later on in the evening, it's also quick to get on. If you're unsure, but go ride it. Go check it out if you go to Disneyland or any Disney park that has it. Hopefully Paris may get it one day. I doubt they'll add that big of a ride, but I could always hold out. Yeah, you survived the review and made it back to civilization. It's a good thing I hid behind those women and children from those man-eating piranha. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the review. I know I did because I love the ride, and if you didn't, well, maybe you should ride the ride. But if you want to see more of these reviews, you can follow me on Twitter at Nathanchu. That's at NATHANCHU. That is on Twitter. You can also go to the Facebook page for Red Button Jam Fest, which is me and my compadre's Facebook page. It's Facebook/Red Button Jam Fest. And you can also check out redbuttonjamfest.com for more stuff that me and my compadres do. There's video game plays, there's articles, there's podcasts, all this fun, cool stuff. And if you want to hit the subscribe button down below, you'll get to see more of these Disney reviews, random vlogs, game plays, just like you'd see on the website. Also, Nate's Wonders, which is another thing I do, where I go around and film stuff that I find interesting, primarily in Arizona because that's where I am. But I do have some videos from New Jersey and some from California as well. Hopefully, I can expand more videos. But anyway, hope you guys have a good one and keep it magical. See you later.